welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a truly fascinating story and a teaching from ancient Buddhist texts.
Yeah, these come from, historical accounts and commentaries connected to the Dhammapada.
Exactly. And it's a teaching that honestly offers a pretty surprising view on merit, demerit, and, well, what it really means to be free.
It definitely pushes back on some conventional ideas.
Right. So our mission today for this deep dive is to unpack this specific teaching. We've got this striking story about a disciple named Revata to guide us. And here's where it gets really interesting. The teaching suggests liberation isn't just about, endlessly piling up good deeds.
No, it's about going beyond the actual forces that bind you to the whole cycle of existence.
And get this, that includes transcending both good and bad. It's quite a thing.
It really forces you to look beyond, the standard ethical framework. Think about a deeper way of being.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our source material, it paints a pretty vivid picture, sets the scene.
Yeah, it says the teacher, the Satha, was staying at Pubarama.
And one day, the monks are all gathered, just buzzing, talking about something, clearly amazed.
They were really worked up about this young novice. The text has them saying things like, oh, the gain of the novice, oh, the merit, aho samatrasa lava, how punya.
You can almost hear the astonishment.
Totally. The amazement just jumps off the page.
So what was it? What was this incredible thing that had them so floored?
Well, this novice, Revata, apparently all by himself, Ikakena, the text says had managed the building of 500 houses.
500, not just huts, but these specific 5-peaked houses, Panyakakugator Satani.
Exactly. 500 of them. To house 500 monks, Panyakana Bhikkhu-satana.
Wow. Okay, just think about that scale for a second.
It's huge. 500 elaborate dwellings, and it's all attributed to the effort, the spiritual power, the gain and merit of just one person for 500 others.
I mean, that sounds like the definition of a massive good deed, right? Immense generosity, incredible merit accumulation.
Absolutely. Textbook good karma, you'd think.
Okay, so the teacher arrives, sees them all talking excitedly, asks, what's up?
And they tell him, probably still buzzing, all about Revata and his amazing merit, this huge building project.
Right. And this is the moment it flips, isn't it? The really surprising part.
This is it. After hearing them go on about Revata's merit, the teacher says, and the source gives us the direct quote, "Bhikkhus, there is neither merit nor demerit for my son Revata. Both have been abandoned by him."
Whoa. Hold on. Neither. For the guy who just got 500 houses built for the monks.
Neither.
My first thought is, how? How is that even possible? Doesn't that just fly in the face of the whole idea that good deeds create good karma?
Right. That's the natural reaction.
So what's the explanation? Why would someone who did that be described as having gone beyond both merit and demerit?
Well, that's exactly what the teaching gets into. The source suggests Revata had reached a state of liberation, a state that's actually beyond the whole cycle of karma.
Beyond the cycle.
Yeah, beyond the process that generates merit, which leads to nice results, and demerit, which leads to unpleasant ones. He wasn't just racking up good karma points anymore.
So he'd gone beyond the whole game, the accumulation itself.
Exactly. He'd transcended the process of accumulation and, crucially, its binding effects. The action itself was obviously beneficial, helpful to others.
Sure, 500 monks got houses.
Right. But it didn't bind him personally in the way it would bind someone still caught up in that cycle of cause and effect, of attachment to outcomes.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see. It's not denying the action was good.
Not at all.
But saying his state was such that the usual karmic consequences, the binding ones, didn't apply to him anymore because he wasn't operating from that same place of attachment.
Precisely. He wasn't bound by the conditions that generate karma in the first place. And the teacher actually elaborates on this state, right? He gives a verse, a gatha.
Yes. The verse explaining who he calls a Brahmin, someone who embodies this liberated state.
That's the one. The verse goes, "Whoever here has abandoned both merit and demerit, and has gone beyond all attachments, griefless, stainless, pure him, I call a Brahmin."
That packs a lot in. It really lays out the qualities of this state.
It really does. It's like a blueprint for this kind of liberation.
So let's break down those key terms because the source and commentaries give us definitions, right? They're crucial.
Yeah.
First, that core phrase, abandoned both merit and demerit.
Yeah, ubho, meaning both. This is critical. The commentary spells it out. This means abandoning both merit punyani and demerit papani. It explicitly says punyani ka papani kachatva.
So it's not about just avoiding bad stuff, it's letting go of the attachment to the results of good stuff too.
Exactly. It's not about being like ethically lazy or neutral in a bad way. It's about transcending the binding power that both good and bad actions exert on ordinary beings.
The power that keeps you stuck in the cycle.
Right. Keeps you spinning on the wheel.
Okay. And the verse also says they've gone beyond all attachments. Saga upakaga.
Saga. That refers to all the attachments, the fetters, the things that tie us to existence.
Like what specifically?
Well, the commentary gives passion or raga as a prime example, but really it means all those mental states, craving, aversion, delusion, that are the root of forming karma in the first place.
And upaga, gone beyond.
Yeah, surpassed, transcended, left them behind completely.
So is there a direct link then between abandoning merit demerit and transcending attachment?
Oh, absolutely. They're intrinsically linked. Think of attachments as the engine driving the whole karma train, both good and bad cars.
Okay, yeah.
When the attachments are gone, the engine stops. The fuel for being bound by merit and demerit, it's just gone.
Got it. And this state, this liberated state, is described with those three really potent qualities: griefless, stainless, pure. Let's take Ahsoka, griefless.
Right, Ahsoka. And this isn't just, not feeling sad today. The source ties it directly to being free from the grief that's rooted in the cycle of Aitimulaka.
Grief rooted in the cycle.
Meaning the fundamental suffering, the dukkha, that comes from being subject to birth, aging, sickness, death, separation, all the stuff that happens because we're bound to this cycle driven by karma and attachment.
So being griefless means you've actually stepped out of that whole process.
That's the idea. You're free from that fundamental level of suffering.
Okay. Then viraja, stainless.
Viraja. The source explains this as being free from defilements, specifically using the image of passion dust, ragarajini.
Passion dust, like tiny little bits.
Yeah, think of raja as dust or subtle impurities, stains on the mind. So viraja means being free from even the subtle traces of things like passion, aversion, delusion, the stuff that still kind of stains the mind even when grosser problems are gone. It implies a very deep level of purification.
A really thorough cleaning, mentally.
You could say that. And the last one, sutta, pure.
Sutta, pure.
This means pure. Simple as that, free from defilements, nirupakale, as the commentary puts it. It's the state of complete freedom from anything that could contaminate or bind the mind.
Ultimate clarity. Ultimate freedom.
Exactly. It's the result of transcending the whole karmic process itself.
So putting it all together, someone who embodies all of this, they've let go of the binding nature of both good and bad actions. They've gone beyond attachments. And because of that, they are griefless, stainless, and totally pure. That's the person the teacher calls a Brahmin. Not because of birth, but because of spiritual attainment.
That is the core insight here. That's what this story and verse are pointing to. The ultimate goal isn't just being the best or most meritorious person within the cycle of suffering.
Like winning the game of good karma points.
Right. It's about transcending the entire mechanism, the attachments, the actions, good and bad, seen as binding forces, the whole thing that keeps you stuck.
It's such a radical shift in perspective.
It really is. The path leads beyond conventional morality, at least as a binding force, towards this state of, ultimate purity and freedom.
And the source itself notes how powerful just hearing this teaching was.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. It says that at the end of this discourse, this explanation, Desanavasani, many people actually attain significant spiritual results, Arya Phala.
Like what kind of results?
Like the fruit of stream entry, Sotapatifala, which is the first stage of awakening. Just hearing and understanding this idea about transcending merit and demerit was enough to trigger major breakthroughs for people right there.
Wow. That really shows how profound this understanding is.
Definitely. Recognizing there's a state of freedom possible that isn't just about constantly trying to balance the scales of good and bad karma. That's huge.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, the really surprising conclusion from Revata's story and the teacher's verse is that true liberation, the ultimate goal described here, means going beyond the concepts of both merit and demerit as things that bind you.
It's a state of freedom defined by having no attachments, no defilements, leading to this profound griefless purity. It's like realizing the whole game is optional, not just trying to win at it.
So here's a final thought to leave you with, drawing from this material. If the ultimate aim, as this teaching suggests, is to go beyond both good and bad actions as binding forces, does that change how you think about the purpose of doing good? What does it truly mean to be griefless, stainless, and pure? something to maybe mull over.